Secretary of State Mike Pompeo heading to Saudi Arabia this morning to meet with the Crown Prince as tensions run high with Iran after that attack on the world's key oil facilities. The Supreme Leader's new warning this morning.
Flash flooding fears. The southeast on alert after Imelda makes landfall as a tropical storm, bringing torrential downpours and powerful winds. Flipping over this airplane. Now 2 new tropical systems strengthening in the Atlantic. Ginger tracking the very latest.
Triple E threat. New deadly cases this morning of the rare mosquito-borne virus. The state's now on alert from Michigan to Massachusetts.
Alex Trebek's new message after revealing his latest struggle in his cancer battle here on GMA. And the former Jeopardy champs rallying around him right now.
First on GMA, one-on-one with the brand new Bachelor, Pilot Pete. Ready to take off on his journey for love. What he's revealing right here this morning.
And celebrating Cokie Roberts. Tributes pouring in this morning for our beloved colleague and dear friend.
Thank you for having me, and please call me Cokie. Well, I will.
The groundbreaking journalist who paved a path for so many, a staple here on ABC for more than 30 years. Now the presidents, first ladies, and friends honoring Cokie Roberts.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. It's great to have you with us on this Wednesday morning as we celebrate the life of our dear friend, Cokie Roberts.
Oh, my goodness. Love that sense of humor. Her wit, her wisdom, her compassion, her kindness. But what she was most focused on, and when she was asked, what do you want to be remembered for? Right here, her family. That right there meant more to her than anything. And so we're going to look back at her extraordinary life and trailblazing career.
She was such an impeccable and warm colleague and friend and a mentor to so many young journalists. We're going to talk about her coming up. But we begin with that breaking news overseas. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on his way to Saudi Arabia this morning to meet with the Crown Prince as tensions rise with Iran in the wake of that attack on key Saudi oil facilities. Iran's leaders warning against any retaliation as chances of a meeting with President Trump are dwindling. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Radd, is tracking all the latest from Washington. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. The State Department this morning is urging U.S. citizens traveling in Saudi to be more vigilant. This as Iran's president is calling the attack on the oil facilities a warning to the Saudis from Yemen to end the war there or face a wider conflict. And a U.S. forensic team in Saudi is examining a nearly intact cruise missile that missed its target and combing through debris at the oil facilities. This image from Saudi social media appears to be missile wreckage, an image that analysts are examining from one of nearly a dozen cruise missiles that targeted Saudi oil facilities. A U.S. official says the investigators have found compelling forensic evidence from those missiles and the some 20 drones that hit the facilities.
Once they get the debris of these drones that crashed in the desert, they'll be able to very precisely match things like the wings and the tail to pictures that the Iranians themselves have published of their drones.
U.S. officials believe the missiles and explosive-laden drones were launched from southwestern Iran in a complex and precise attack which struck at least 17 targets. Since President Trump pulled out of the nuclear deal last year, there have been more attacks than ever blamed on Iran, major attacks on oil tankers in the Gulf, and that highly sophisticated U.S. drone that was shot down. Trump was considering military action in retaliation last summer, but backed off. But this attack is by far the most brazen and seemingly calculated. So why would Iran risk it?
The Iranians have gotten progressively more aggressive. They've seized ships, they've shot down a U.S. drone, and now this Saudi attack. They think they can get away with it. The U.S. is more bark than bite, but they want to pressure the U.S. to come back to the negotiating table and give them relief from sanctions.
Facing pressure from even some of his political allies, President Trump insisting that his restraint in dealing with past Iranian aggression is a sign of strength that some people just don't understand. What is clear is that if Iran is proven to be behind the attack, the pressure on President Trump to do something will only increase. A response does not have to be a military one. It could be a cyber attack or more sanctions. And right now, numerous options are being looked at, if President Trump decides to do anything at all in retaliation. George?
That could be within days. Martha Raddatz, thanks very much. Robin?
And George, also in that region, an election the world is closely watching. Israel is on edge this morning as the results come in showing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his opponent deadlocked at this hour. The future uncertain. Our senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is tracking the very latest for us on all that. Good morning, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. Yeah, what we're looking at is a potential earthquake in Israeli politics. Benjamin Netanyahu is Israel's longest-serving prime minister and the dominant political figure of his generation. But this morning, one of President Trump's closest allies is now facing the gravest political danger of his career. Netanyahu campaigned on his experience in office and ability to keep Israel strong and secure, and his close relationship with world leaders, in particular President Trump. But he's facing a possible corruption indictment and heavy criticism over divisive policies, and his campaign looks to have fallen short. So the centrist Blue and White Party, led by Benny Gantz, a former army chief, neck and neck with Netanyahu's right-wing Likud party. This could mean a more moderate government, less in tune with current US policies on Israel, and the hardline vision of the annexation of Palestinian territories and an ever-expanding Israeli state. But Israeli politics are notoriously complex and unpredictable. Gantz could go into coalition with Likud, but that would likely mean Netanyahu having to step aside. And of course, there's no indication he's ready to do that. And if a deal fails, then Israel is dreading this possibility. There could be yet another election, the third this year. Michael?
All right, Ian, thank you so much. And now to a fiery showdown on Capitol Hill. President Trump's former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, grilled about possible obstruction of justice by the president. Our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, has the details. Good morning, Pierre.
Michael, good morning. It was fireworks as for the first time, a top Trump campaign official was grilled at a public hearing about the Russia investigation and possible obstruction of justice. Democrats desperately trying to pursue impeachment proceedings and Republicans fiercely trying to protect the president. Throughout the roughly 6-hour hearing, Corey Lewandowski could barely contain his apparent contempt for House Democrats.
I think they hate this president more than they love their country.
But Democrats continue to press about a key scene in the Mueller report. President Trump calling Lewandowski into the Oval Office and dictating a message for delivery to Jeff Sessions. The goal, to get the then Attorney General to limit the special counsel's investigation.
Didn't you think it was a little strange that the president would sit down with you one-on-one and ask you to do something that you knew was against the law?
I didn't think the president asked me to do anything illegal.
Democrats furious that he refused to answer certain questions about his dealings with the president, referring to this letter from the White House restricting the scope of his testimony, citing executive privilege.
You're
not going to stonewall me in my questioning.
Lewandowski's credibility put into question.
I don't ever remember the president ever asking me to get involved with Jeff Sessions or the Department of Justice in any way, shape, or form ever.
And that was not true, was it?
I have no obligation to be honest with the media because they're just as dishonest as anybody else.
It was a day of hardball politics. Lewandowski even took the time during a break to tweet about a PAC encouraging him to run for the U.S. Senate. George?
Okay, Pierre, thanks very much. We're going to go to the White House now, where President Trump is preparing to take on California's clean air rules, setting up a major confrontation over climate change, likely to go all the way to the Supreme Court. Our Chief White House correspondent, John Carlo, joins us now. And, John, this would be an unprecedented move. No administration has ever tried to take away a state's authority to regulate its own air quality.
It would be unprecedented, George. In fact, the state of California has been regulating emissions, setting a stricter standard since the 1960s. Now the Trump administration is poised to take that away, requiring California to go along with the more lenient standards dictated by the Trump EPA. It's a move that would appear inconsistent with the Trump administration's embrace of the power of states to do all sorts of other regulations, from abortion to guns. But the administration says that they are doing this because California, with its huge car market, was effectively imposing their standard on the rest of the country. But, George, the administration is certainly going to face challenges.
Well, there's no question about it. It's one of a series of actions the administration has taken to weaken climate change regulations and to take on the state of California on a number of fronts. They're clearly going to take this to court.
Absolutely. If you look at the Attorney General of the state of California, Javier Becerra, by the way, he has already said that he will go to court on this. He has challenged the administration in court on a whole range of issues, ranging from education to immigration and down the line. This one is almost certain to go to the Supreme Court.
John Carl, thanks very much, Robin.
All right, George, now to that fast-forming tropical storm making landfall in Texas, slamming the Gulf with relentless rain overnight. Now the southeast is bracing for flash flooding. And Ginger, I know you have the latest.
Yes, we are seeing rainfall totals right now above a foot along the coast. So this is a big deal for Texas and Louisiana. I want to take you to the pictures of the Gulf of Mexico, usually so serene. Not now. You know something's brewing out there. It is the slow-moving what's left of Imelda. Bay City in a flash flood warning. That means it's happening now. They've just extended these up to Lufkin and over to Lake Charles. These are flash flood watches, mean that you could have 3+ inches per hour fall. Imagine getting 3+ inches. You've already got 10 inches down. Today, we anticipate anyone from Houston over to Beaumont could get 10+ inches. This is through to the next 24, 48 hours. Even Lake Charles and Lufkin need to be on the lookout. Michael?
All right, thank you so much for that, Ginger. And now to a big arrest overnight. A major Democratic donor, Ed Buck, is in custody this morning, charged with operating a drug house and linked to the deaths of 2 men at his home. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, is in West Hollywood with the latest. Good morning to you, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. In the space of just a few months, Ed Buck went from being Democratic Party darling to accused predator, with the LADA saying that he lured men struggling with homelessness and addiction to this apartment with the promise of drugs, money, and shelter. But for 2 of those men, it ended in death. And the LADA says that for others, in near fatal overdoses.
Overnight, prominent Democratic donor and LGBTQ political activist Ed Buck arrested after a 3rd man was allegedly overdosed at his West Hollywood home. Buck seen here being let out of his Hollywood apartment and placed in the back of a police SUV trying to duck photographers. But he's been highly visible as a Democratic donor, giving more than $100,000 to the party over the years and hosting fundraisers for Hillary Clinton, former Governor Jerry Brown, and Congressman Ted Lieu. This morning, Buck is charged with battery, operating a drug house, and providing methamphetamine to a 37-year-old man who survived an overdose after investigators say Buck injected him with the drug. But according to prosecutors, 2 other men weren't as lucky.
We're going to be out here every night.
Earlier this year, anger and protest after police say they found the body of 55-year-old Timothy Dean inside Buck's home, the same location where officials say 26-year-old Jamel Moore died of a drug overdose back in July 2017. Buck was not charged in either man's death, and he denied any wrongdoing in both incidents.
I don't care if he was in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or older. He was a black man, and he died of an overdose in Ed Buck's house.
Now, with the LADA saying that Buck personally injected his victims with meth, the family of one of the victims, Jamel Moore, wondered in a statement why it took several overdoses and 2 deaths to finally take action. Now, we reached out to Buck's attorney. So far, no response. If he is convicted of these charges, he faces over 5 years in prison, and his bail, Michael or Robin, set at $4 million.
Many people watching this, Matt. Thank you very much. We're ready? We're going to celebrate now. We're going to celebrate the extraordinary life and career of Cokie Roberts, true trailblazer who paved a path for so many in journalism, a member of our family here at ABC News for more than 30 years, and the ultimate family woman, a devoted wife, 53 years to Steve, caring mother to Lee and Rebecca, doting grandmother to 6. So many paying tribute this morning to the legendary political journalist and our beloved friend.
We're following 2 major stories tonight.
This morning, tributes pouring in across the country for pioneering journalist Cokie Roberts.
The candidates seem to think it works, and they all keep opting into the system because they like the system.
People from all walks of life, celebrities, politicians, fellow journalists, all honoring the woman viewed as one of the best political commentators in broadcasting.
We lost an amazing giant in the world of journalism, a great woman. Her name was Cokie Roberts.
The women of The View holding back tears, remembering the legendary journalist's influence on those who followed in her footsteps.
She just sort of gave me that stamp of approval that I didn't even know that I needed, but I needed it. Yeah. And she was there for so many of the women here at ABC News.
Known for her sharp wit and integrity, she earned admiration from both sides of the aisle, even when giving tough interviews.
You didn't like my answers?
No, they were wonderful answers. You were not able to answer sufficiently.
Former President George W. Bush and former First Lady Laura Bush calling Cokie a talented, tough, and fair reporter. We respected her drive and appreciated her humor. she became a friend. Former President Obama saying of Cokie, a trailblazing figure, informing voters about the issues of our time and mentoring young journalists every step of the way. Born in Louisiana in 1943, Cokie Roberts lived and breathed politics. The daughter of two longtime U.S. representatives, Hale Boggs and Lindy Boggs, who collectively served the people of New Orleans for 46 years. After working as an anchor at 21, she became a reporter in New York, then political commentator at NPR.
From ABC News.
And in 1988, Cokie found her home right here at ABC News. Her extraordinary life and career, an inspiration to countless women.
You all talked about the men have an agenda, and it gets disrupted, but your agenda got disrupted too.
A trailblazer herself, bravely fighting a cancer diagnosis in 2002 while working throughout her career to highlight the untold remarkable contributions of women in American history.
When I started out in the world of work, it was illegal for women to become generals or admirals. So there's a huge change in the years that I've been plowing this turf.
Oh, but for those who were blessed to work beside her, the impact of her loss weighs heavily on an industry changed so much by her influence, her integrity, and unimaginable kindness.
Every time you were with Cokie, she was the same. She was a shoulder to lean on. She was an example for us all.
She had a great sense of humor, and she had as distinctive was her name, Cokie. She had a great laugh and a wonderful twinkle in her eyes when she laughed.
She'll be remembered as a great friend, a great loving, kind friend who would go out of her way to do what you needed done if you needed some help. She was a force of nature.
She certainly was, and you heard that over and over again. I know you reached out to her during the debate.
I emailed her just before the debate last Thursday saying, I wish you were here, because it's so hard to imagine any of these big events without Cokie, whether it's an inauguration, a convention, an election night. Her knowledge was so deep, and she had such a great talent for breaking it all down and explaining it to people in a way they could hear, in a way they could understand. It came to her naturally, but she also worked very hard at it, and as everyone has said, what an amazing friend and colleague.
Oh, and her family, our families down south, lifelong friends. We've known the family for forever. And a lot of people ask, how did she get the name Cokie? Well, her little brother Tommy, her name is, and I had to write it down because Mary Martha Corinne Morrison Claiborne Boggs. And her little brother couldn't say Corinne, could say Cokie, and it stuck.
It did, certainly did stick.
And as Charlie said, as distinctive as her name, that was that woman.
Mm-hmm. And everyone says the same thing, you know, how much love and how much she, just how much of a trailblazer she was in so many ways, and how she made them feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's never.
She made a huge impact, and we are all going to miss her very, very much. Yeah. We are following a lot of other stories this morning, including a new message from Alex Trebek after sharing his health setback right here on GMA. Now let's go back to Ginger.
And we've got a newly named tropical storm, Jerry, but also Umberto. Remember, Umberto is going to pass north of Bermuda. We could see rip currents all the way up to Long Island and in New England. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, here's the Rainy Cities, sponsored by Edward Jones.
What a time to be alive. The world is customized to you, built for you. So why isn't it all about you when it comes to your money?
So, what's on your mind?
We are Edward Jones, a 97-year-old firm built for right now. With one financial advisor per office, we're all about knowing what's important to you, the one who matters. Edward Jones. It's time for investing to feel individual.
Get ready for a wonderful Wednesday. Sunglasses in hand. You're not going to need the jacket today, but it is going to be delightful. Much brighter than yesterday. 74 degrees by noon, 77 at 4 p.m. And then for tomorrow, well, tomorrow is still going to be dry. So perfect weather for getting out and getting the car washed, but it is getting dry. We're close to 2 inches down on rainfall for the month. 80 degrees on Friday. Look at your weekend temperatures. Close to 90 degrees expected on Sunday. First day of fall, Monday, that high 86.
Appreciate you starting your day with us, and we'll be right back.
Performance comes in lots of flavors.